I'm Nan Simonsen, and I'm so glad you've joined us here today. I am the author of Aging Powerfully. I'm a whole food plant based advocate, but I'm also deeply entrenched in the um, College of Lifestyle Medicine, the certification of doctors. Thank goodness it's one of the fastest growing certifications for MDs anywhere, because a lot of allopathic doctors are saying this is ridiculous. I'm prescribing, doing procedures, and they're not getting better. And I'm really tired of this. So lifestyle medicine. I talk about the pillars of lifestyle medicine in my book, and I'm thrilled to have someone here today who agrees with me and wants to talk to you about the same thing. I'm going to ask Rachel Detroit to tell her story and to talk to us about that title that we put down here. And let me read it so I get it word for word. Aging and Dying Gracefully with Lifestyle Medicine. I got to tell you something. She gave me the title and then she said, "Is that a bit too much?" And I thought, heck no, let's say it like it is. Because some people, when they get near the end, and the end is getting closer and closer to our middle age, because of the way a lot of people live, when they get to the end, sometimes it's a terrible way to go. And our goal is to square the curve. I'm living, and boom, one night I just die. That is aging gracefully. So take it away, and I'm going to give you the screen. Go ahead, Rachel.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you love aging gracefully of, living, and then all of a sudden just like dying in the sleep, dying in the rest. That's the way I want to die, just dying peacefully and gracefully. So yeah, you wanted to hear my uh, lifestyle medicine, my comeback story. I was working with a client earlier today, and I said, I think part of the reason I got MS was so that I could have a comeback story. And then, anytime that there's it's like, is Rachel just craving a little comeback story that she wants to power up and be? Yeah, I'll share it with you. So I was diagnosed at 28 years old, and I was like living a very so I want to weave this into lifestyle medicine too, and how important it is. I was living a very non-lifestyle medicine life. My sleep was poor, my food was poor, I drank a lot, I loved drinking, I loved using substances. I don't know if I loved these things. Those were the things I did often. I don't know if I like loved it or if that's just like the only option. And then, so basically it was just like it was a disaster. It was a recipe for disaster. Bad sleep, bad eat, substances, relationships were bad. Stress was high. I was in grad school. No, I just finished grad school. I was a high school math teacher, all while doing the party game. And I was just like all the time, just ready to go, ready to party. And then, when the body speaks to us, the body speaks to us in a variety of ways, and we can either listen or we can ignore it. And I chose to just ignore. And then one day my body was just like, oh, I'll show you. I'll show you this ignoring, Rachel. So then, I had a ton of symptoms, and then I actually told this story today to somebody. The neurologists, they're not nice, they're not quite thoughtful, they're not. He looked at me and my mom, and he says, "You either have brain cancer or MS." And I was like, okay, thank you. I was like, okay. So then here I am, and like I'm praying. I'm like, well, I hope I have MS. I think that's what I want, So right, the whole diagnosis problem, and leading into lifestyle medicine, a diagnosis is a very traumatic experience. It's like a really big emotional injury to a human. And it's really difficult to get out of that headspace of like being ill, being sick, being so part of my thing is I don't actually like telling people that I have MS. It's not that like I want to hide it, but I actually don't want anyone's pity. Like people feel so bad. And it's like sometimes I want to, be like, I probably live a more active life than you, not to compare, but that's like where my brain goes. It's like you don't have to feel so bad. Like it's not that serious. And so, well, let me not do that. It depends on who you are, right? Like life could be really serious or life could be kind of playful. What route do we want to take? So I get this life altering diagnosis. My physical is just out of whack. Everything's misaligned. I can't, I'm not able to like walk properly or run or use the bathroom, like on my control. It's like on its own control and everything's like out of control, like the whole thing. And it makes sense. Right. So anybody who's kind of experiencing symptoms in the body, it makes sense that our body is giving us symptoms when we're out of line. And so I want to connect it back to this idea of, well, this concept, this whole entire body of evidence that continues to grow around lifestyle medicine. It's like when you live a lifestyle that you focus on your sleep, your substance intake, making sure it's like not too much. You focus on your nutrition, your physical movement, relationships. And so relationships are social connections. What's the one that I'm missing?
Movement, community, food, whole food, plant-based, and resilience, meaning sleep and stress management, and then drug or substance abuse.
Yeah, so we got the 6 pillars. And so when we're misaligned with the 6 pillars, the body just wreaks havoc. And so I was misaligned. My body wreaked havoc or wreaked, I don't know, wreaked was just screaming, right? It was just screaming for a break. And then, right, so like the course of any life, any disease, it's a course, right? So there are ups and there are downs and there are points of middle. And it's all about like paying attention and listening. And I used to shame myself. Like if something arose. So MS is like a symptom, body feeling thing. And so like when I'm tired, I'll feel the tingles. The tingles show up. Or and so it's like it's something that lets you know. And I used to get shame around that. So like if something popped up, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm such a terrible person. I'm the worst at being a healthy person. And that just adds to the problem. The shame around it. Yeah. So that's kind of my story right there. And I live well with it.
So, who taught you, if you don't mind my interjecting, who taught you about whole food plant-based eating? Because I'm pretty sure your doctor did not. How did you come to that? How did you realize that lifestyle as medicine could be the thing that allows you to go decades and decades and into your 80s, 90s, and beyond with this? How did you learn that? And by whom?
Yeah, so it was a self-driven study. I Googled like crazy. I was like, oh my God, I have to cure this. I was a high school math teacher. It's like, I gotta figure out what this is gonna be. I like always teetered on like what eating healthy might be. I would eat healthy and I would like eat Subway and I was like, oh, I'm eating so healthy. Or I'd buy things in packages and I'd be like, oh, this is healthy. It says 19 grams of protein and 0 fat. And I'm like, this is healthy. And like, but then also I grew up in a Middle Eastern family, which I'll just do a little bundle plug on this. I have a whole ebook on plant-based Lebanese cooking in the bundle. So it is inspired by the teachings of my mom, who is a Middle Eastern chef. So who taught me? I was just determined. I was determined to figure out how to do this by myself, how to balance it, how to figure it out. And then I stumbled upon the works of Dr. Greger. There's a foundation called OMS, Overcoming Multiple Sclerosis, and that diet advocates a whole food plant-based lifestyle with fish. If so, it's not 100% whole food plant-based, but it's essentially whole food plant-based, and you can eat fish because omegas are very good for MS. So that's where I found it. I was self-search, and then I decided, I was like, oh, I'm going to become a personal trainer, so then I can teach myself how to exercise properly and make sure I hit all of the spots. And then I became a certified nutritionist because I couldn't stop learning. So I taught myself. Yeah, please interject whenever you want. I enjoy the dialogue.
Well, I wondered who was most influential, because in this plant-based, whole food plant-based world that a lot of us kind of maneuver in, there are certain people who are highly influential. Going back to John Robbins in the 70s when he wrote Diet for a Small Planet. And that began people's interest in vegetarian and veganism. And then you had Dr. Esselstyn in the 80s reversing heart disease, and Dr. Ornish proving that lifestyle as medicine is so valuable that they could get Medicare to pay for it. That was new, because doctors aren't going to be too incentivized to do what they can't get paid for. And at least then we were able to get people treated by doctors who didn't fear for their livelihood by talking to people about their food, their rest, their movement, and their community. And then you get into Chef AJ and Tammy of Nutmeg Notebook, and there's so many people, Kathy Hester, who are so influential. So I wondered in what space you or how you found your way into this general space.
Oh yeah, so Chef Julia is one of my very good friends. And I was looking for how to cook this way. How do I do this? And she teaches cooking classes online. And I had an inkling. I was like, okay, let me take one of these classes. And she's just been an inspiration to me to get my life coaching business up and going. I quit my job as a high school math teacher, and that was kind of courageous of me. It's like I went to school. I got my undergrad as a math major, and I did the teaching thing. Then I got my master's degree to be a principal. I mean, I really thought that I was a solid teacher forever. I thought that was, and then I realized I am. And now I just do it differently. So my modality of teaching is now through coaching and through teaching online cooking courses and coaching online. It's just a different way of teaching.
Yeah. Tell them about the rest of what you're offering in the bundle, because it's so varied. You're very varied, and I love that.
I'm kind of a wild child. I'm definitely a Gemini through and through, through my blood, through my bones. So yeah, I have 6 different ebooks in the bundle, and I'll start with the first one is called Super Simple Vegan, and that one is general vegan food. Everything is super simple. Everything. I'll just say it again, the exact same sentence. Everything is super simple, because that's how I cook. That's how I live. Actually, to be honest, most of the time, I just love eating plates of raw fruits and vegetables. So, but super simple vegan, tons of super simple recipes, easy. that you could cook them with your child or your grandchildren, or they could cook them for you. Very accessible. So super simple vegan, super simple raw. So if you're curious about some raw food, we got that. I'll be making some raw vegan brownies on, I want to say Friday, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow? There's today Friday. Tomorrow. Today's Thursday, Rachel. Super simple plant-based raw, and then super simple fast food copycats. So if we got some fast food junkies here, I've replicated the things from Taco Bell, the things from KFC, not all the things, but some of the things. So that's fun in there. Things from Wendy's. Then I have super simple desserts, which is quite self-explanatory. Super simple breakfast. And then last but not least, super simple plant-based Lebanese. And with plant-based Lebanese, so if you haven't gotten your bundle, the link is in the show notes. You can grab one. But the coolest thing that, in my opinion, what I'm offering is in super simple plant-based Lebanese, I'm offering admission to one of my live cooking courses where we are cooking everything from plant-based Lebanese. So when you buy the bundle, click on the plant-based Lebanese, you'll see, and then like on page 2, it's like, here's my gift to you. And you can click and sign up, and then you'll get an email with the Zoom link, and it's March 16th. And if you can't come to the live show, you'll get the Zoom recording. So sign up. I'm super simply excited about everything that I have put in there. It's a lot of good juicy things.
Do you, when you have your live course, or when you're going to run it, it's going to be a live course on March 16th, right? That's what you just said.
Yeah.
Is your mom going to be on there at all? I don't know if she lives in the same city. Can we meet your mother? I hear you look a lot like her.
Yeah. So here's the deal about my mother. She's going to be live with me on Sunday. I should publicize this a little bit. I'm going to have Sunday, I'm going to have my mother and my aunt at 6 p.m. Eastern time on my channel. And so they're both born in Lebanon, and I'm going to be interviewing them about Lebanese culture, Lebanese food. I'll be showing hummus with hashwi. Hummus is chickpea. American people say, or whatever people, any people, they say hummus usually. So that's like what you would call hummus. But hummus and hashwi is like a usually it's a lamb and nut topping that goes on top of the hummus. And I'm going to be replicating, or it's replicated. It's in that ebook. It's through mushrooms and different nuts and things like that. So I'll be displaying that on Sunday while I interview my mom and my aunt. I'm so glad you asked that. Yeah, we look a lot alike. She's like my best friend. We go on and on about my mom. Hi, Mom. She might be watching. She watches all my stuff.
Hi, Mom. Thanks for having her.
Yeah.
She's a delight.
Thanks.
Okay, this sounds like so much of an investment of your time and energy, and it graces this this bundle with so much information. And if I remember correctly, because I went through it, most of your ebooks are quite lengthy. They're not like 1 or 2 pages, most of them. You have a lot of information in there. Right.
Yeah, I like to be thorough, and like one of my favorite business coaches, one of my favorite business people, Alex Hormozy, he always says, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing well. And that's the mindset that I carry. It's like, if it's worth doing, and sometimes doing something well is like, doesn't have to be super extreme. It's like, what is well to you? Like, what is your idea of doing it well? If it's worth doing, give it your all. Do it well. It's not like, I'm not sitting here and like, oh, Rachel, you have to produce a cookbook that's like Julia Childs. I don't know. I don't even know. She's from, you know Julia Childs?
Of course I do. Of course I do. She's an American who went to France and was treated like a real numbskull? Or was she a French woman? No, she was a French woman who went to culinary school, the Cordon Bleu, and was treated like like a second-class citizen until she proved herself quite skillful. I
Right.
talked about her today. See, we are channeling each other, because today I spoke with Kathy Hester on a live, and I don't know how this came out of my mouth, especially to a vegan group, but I said something like, because Kathy said she really enjoyed, we both cook and freeze chickpeas. And I said, I freeze them first on a cookie sheet and then bag them. And she said, oh, well, I skip a step. I put them in there because I really enjoy taking them out of the freezer and whacking them. And I said, oh, I understand that. I said, do you remember when Julia Child used to do her cooking shows and she would get out a bird, poultry? And in this case, I was thinking turkey. Whap! She
Yeah.
would just bang on the chicken breast, or especially the turkey breast. And then I thought, this is the wrong group now. I mean,
Yeah.
you're probably all washing your hands when you think about that. But anyway, yes, we are channeling each other or ourselves, or I'm channeling you. But yes, yeah, that is, I agree with you that if you're going to do something, you do it well. And being a math teacher, and having your graduate degree in education, you have to be someone who can control your thoughts and put them into succinct order. That's not something I do. So out of the gate, I admire you. Getting my brain to think straight is like herding cats. And so I admire anyone. I happen to be married to that type of a guy, and my late husband, who passed after 40 years of marriage, was that kind of person. I think they both enjoyed being around me because they felt like they were saving me. Oh, poor little thing, her brain doesn't work well. But
Oh,
but you know what? When it can't be herded, it means we're picking up on all kinds of nuances other people don't see, that other people miss. It's like the people who can't see hearing better. So there's things I can do better, but that's not the point here. You're the point here. So to wrap it up, because I know you were looking at being finished in a reasonable amount of time, is there something more that you wanted to add to that line of thinking about aging and dying well with lifestyle medicine, applying the principles of lifestyle medicine, which you're doing in your life, and any recommendations about that?
yeah. I believe so we have the word gracefully in the title, right? And
No, it's aging powerfully.
no, I meant well, that one, that
Oh,
title
and yours, I'm sorry. See
in
how
our
easily my mind goes whoop, 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 whoop. Okay,
that's
yes,
okay.
you do.
That's
Aging how and aging and dying gracefully. Thank you.
right. So this keyword of and also powerfully,
No,
although
gracefully is your word. You keep it.
okay, so gracefully. So you asked me, is there anything that I would like to this idea of giving yourself grace, no matter where you are on like health. A lot of times people will think like it's a destination, that it's this destination, it's this end goal, it's this end game, it's this end product. And actually it's a day by day, second by second, minute by minute situation. And it all exists in your brain. It all exists in your brain and you get to choose. Um, so you get to choose if you want to live, even if you have symptoms off the wazoo, even if you get to choose if you want to live in your brain as a sick person who feels bad for themselves, who is powerless, who has no control over anything, who gets all of these cards handed to them, all of these bad chips. It's a decision. And some people don't like to hear that, but in my coaching, I'm quite raw, I'm quite truthful, I'm quite direct, and it is your decision. Is a decision, and I'm feisty tonight because I slept kind of yucky, and so I'm just like, listen. And I had a coaching
Sing it, girl.
conversation.
Sing
I
it.
was feisty. I was feisty with them, and I was just like, I don't mean to dish you out on this, but so the point is everything is a decision. And you just have to make a decision. Are you going to do it with grace? And so with setbacks, and I just had one not long ago with MS. It's not perfect. A lot of times we think like the people we see on the internet, all we show is our perfect life. Except for me, if you check out my Facebook, Rachel Detroit Coaching, or YouTube, I go there. I'm not afraid to. Right. So, but we think that that everybody is living this like perfect life, and then others think they have to live up to these expectations. But this idea of gracefully with lifestyle medicine, living, aging, and dying gracefully with lifestyle medicine. So, my words of encouragement are gracefully. Just gracefully do it. It doesn't say quickly, right now, immediately, beat yourself up. You suck if you don't do it properly. It says gracefully. And it takes time to develop grace. It takes time to develop the muscle to treat yourself kindly. It takes time to develop habits to continue to make choices that are good for you. I continue to make this one choice of something that I know is like harmful to me, and then I make it, and then I'm like, oh man, then I beat myself up. It's a cycle. Then I beat myself up, and I'm like, you just like beating yourself up a little bit. You just do this, so then you could turn around and then beat yourself up, and then punish yourself, and then do it again, so you could be, that's not graceful. It's okay. It's my process, what I'm going through. So my last bit of encouragement here is, if you want to live well, if you want to age well, if you want to live well, give yourself grace as you find the beat of your drum. It doesn't have to happen today, tomorrow. It happens over time. So give yourself grace.
I also think I heard you say that we bring about what we think about, and is the law of attraction, some would call it, but we bring about what we think about. And if we think we are a thing, we can bring, I think a lot of us, if we take the time to study that and our responses in life to whatever, we'll find that we can get hung on a thing, and quite often it's not a thing that we want to manifest in our life. As a matter of fact, it's something we'd like to get rid of, but we get stuck on that thing, and before you know it, that's all we have, because we keep bringing it up. So I love that you referenced that it may be a thing, but you don't even want to talk about it. You'd prefer not to think about it, because then it becomes more of it. So you bring about what you think about, and you just choose not to do that. Am I summing that up properly?
Yeah, and I want to add something to that too. When I was first like overcoming MS, I would wake up every morning and I was nervous. I would be like, are my hands still working? Are my feet still working? Right? So every single morning, instead of waking up with this like beautiful gratitude for being alive, for being awake, for having a voice, for having experiences, for having cognition, I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I hope that my legs work, and I hope that my hands work. And so that takes away, one, it takes away a lot of energy. Two, it takes away grace. Three, that is not the first thought that you want to tell your body first thing in the morning. So this idea of, this real thing of, you are what you believe, you attract what you call for. A lot of times people have fear of disease, fear of illness, fear of this is going to happen, and they're calling it in, and they do not even realize it. So it's really important to be aware of the quality of thoughts that we create, because we create them. We get to choose.
That's beautiful. Well, I'm going to bring up something that's way off there, and then we'll let you go pretty soon.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about your sleeve? Do you want to talk about whether that was your wild days, or is that MS and just giving the finger to MS? What is that?
You know what? I have the urge to show you my thigh tattoo.
We'll look.
too. But I'm wearing pants, and that means I would have to like pull them down. Might be a little bit too intense for right now. But so this right here, I'll tell you how it started. It first started with just this piece right here.
Uh-huh.
I was like, this was a big like thing for MS. It was like, I'm not going to let anybody put needles in my body unless I choose it. And then I really decided that I was going to choose it.
Yes.
But I've had like other random tattoos like in other places, but it started with this one. And I practice Buddhism. I practice a lot of different spirituality. I love all of it. You're going to get me talking, bringing this up.
See, now we're keeping you on. Go ahead. I told you had time. Go ahead.
It
looks like you're ready to pull your blouse up. Here they are.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
It would be quite a show.
If this is a freaky channel, Nan, we can do it.
I'm not freaky, but I love to show people that they're going to see things that they wouldn't have expected.
So this one, everything is 8 in the Dharma wheel in Buddhism. So everything is like this like concept of 8. Okay. Anyways, I got a lot of so these are the 3 jewels. I was really into Buddhism at the time. I still practice it, but I just was so into it. I needed it all over my body, I guess. But the 3 jewels of Buddhism right here. So that's what these little things are. And then these flowers are my mom's I love to talk about it. I'm glad you asked. Are my mom's favorite flower.
Well, let me guess. Wait a minute. That's not a ranuncula, is it?
No.
A dahlia?
No.
Wait a minute. Let me keep looking. A camellia? Before you know it, I'll go through every flower and then act like I guessed it. But no, what? So what is that?
It's a gardenia.
A gardenia. I was getting there. Camellia, gardenia.
I was almost there. I was going to let you do it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So
that's beautiful.
And then I have another little, it's a lion. Let's see if this one's my favorite.
Well, you've got really cute underwear on. Drop your drawers.
I don't want to tell anyone what kind of underwear I have on right now.
Okay. Oh, Rachel. That is beautiful.
Is my favorite. And this one's to me, but also to my sister. When I was a kid, I was her pet lion in like some weird dysfunctional older sister, younger sister way. But I was her pet lion named Henry. And so I was like, I'm actually quite fierce as a lion. I love this lion. My tattoo artist is amazing. Let me get like a really fierce lion.
It's beautiful. And actually for an older sister to have chosen a lion is a way of honoring you, because older kids can sometimes belittle younger ones. You could have been her weasel. Instead, you were her lion. I love that. That's wonderful.
And I had a Halloween costume that was a lion, and it was a little bit weird and dysfunctional, but also really cute. And she would be like, put on your Halloween costume. That was a lion. And then she would boss me around. She'd be like, Henry the lion, you're such a good lion. Can you go get me this? And I'd be like, yeah, I'll get you this in my lion costume. So I don't know.
It sounds adorable.
Yeah,
she sounds adorable.
We have a really
How much older?
She's 2 years older than me.
Oh, okay. All right. It might have gotten weird if it was 10 years or something, but 2 years older, that's kids playing. That sounds
playing. And we did cooking shows all the time in the kitchen. We would do cooking shows and pretend we were like on cooking shows. And then we would do she always gave me like the jobs that she didn't want. She'd be like, Rachel, we're at a concert, at a musical concert, and you just have to point to the words for this sing along. You just point. Don't sing, just point. And so I just admired her so much. I just at whatever she said, I was like, okay, Lori, you're really cool. Yep. Let's do it.
How sweet. And your mother was a chef back then too?
She's not a trained chef. She's just an amazing cook, and I just call her chef.
Let's call her a chef.
Yeah, she's a chef for sure.
Look what she spawned.
No.
All right. Well, now I'll let you go. You told me early on that it would probably be 30, and I've coaxed you into 40. So there you have it. It's been a delight. Take
It's been
really good care of yourself. You're just a gem. And I'll be watching for you. And if I'm not there live, I'll pick it up afterwards. I want to meet your mother and your aunt. They
yeah,
must be so proud of you and you of them.
yeah, yeah. It's a wonderful,
Oh,
wonderful relationship. Oh, and
people
consider.
have, oh, go ahead. What?
I was going to say, consider signing up for my cooking course and
Oh,
join me. It'll be fun. It's for, I mean, you have the bundle. You're invited. I would love for you to come and cook along and hang out. And whether you cook with or you just hang out, I'm sure, if your followers buy the bundle and they see you there at the live show, that's awesome. What a wonderful community event we can have together.
oh, and it's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
Well,
So
Saturday's a more doable date for me. I'm not going to promise, but you may be seeing me there. That would be very
oh,
fun.
that
That
would
would
be
be
awesome.
very fun. And tell them where they can find you. What is the name of all of your channels?
Yeah. So Facebook, facebook.com/Rachel Detroit Coaching. Instagram is at Rachel Detroit Coaching. My website is www.racheldetroitcoaching.com.
Okay.
YouTube is also at Rachel Detroit Coaching. And
Okay.
if you want to reach out by email, it is Rachel, Rachel. I spell it the right way. Rachel at racheldetroitcoaching.com.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, it's been a delight. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate your time. And I will hold on just a minute as we say goodbye to everyone, and I'll say goodbye to you at the end. I'm
We
going
have some
to.
questions in the chat.
Oh my goodness. You know what? Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
let's hit
Thank
them
you.
real quick.
I did this with Kathy. No, not with Kathy. I just did one with Ellen Allard and completely forgot about the chat until a certain point. So Stephanie, hi everyone. And Nan and Rachel, Sue McCarthy, you're there too. The tapestry behind Rachel is beautiful. Yes, it is. Is that a needlework? It looks like needlework.
It's not.
Okay, it's very pretty.
Thank you.
Rachel, fellow Michigander. Oh my gosh. Oh my gee. Again, Julia Child is being mentioned. Oh, Stephanie was on when I was with Kathy and talked about Julia Child. See, I told you. And let's see. Hi, Ann Harrison, Stephanie. Who else? So, Rachel, you and your sister were really creative as kids doing cooking shows too. So cute. Isn't it, Ann? Oh, Ann Harrison. Hi there. And what is the class on Saturday? She might not have been on when you said that. Tell them again what it is and how they get it.
Yeah,
It's never going to let you go. Now I'm going to torture you. No, just kidding.
there's a part of me that wants to stay too. So don't. So I want to let you know it's a dual. I take full responsibility. I showed up and I was like, listen, I'm kind of tired. Da 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 da. But it's a
Okay.
dual relationship. I take full responsibility for my behavior and action.
Okay.
I'm
I won't
enjoying
guilt.
it. Yeah,
So
no, don't do the guilting. It's
tell
not.
her, tell her about what you're referring to in the bundle.
So it's when you purchase the bundle, there's super simple. So you can look up Rachel Detroit and look up find Rachel Detroit. I have 6 of them there, but look up Rachel Detroit Super Simple Lebanese. And in that ebook, when you buy the bundle, there is admission. There'll be a link, and it's only for the bundle users. But after the bundle, I'm going to sell it to people more than what you're getting for it in the bundle. So click on it, register for the course. It will send you an email and it's going to say like, thank you so much for signing up. And then on Monday or Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, I'm not sure, but one of the days, an automated email will get sent to you with the Zoom link for the course on Saturday. And then we'll be cooking everything inside. It's going to be like a cook-a-thon. Everything inside of the plant-based Lebanese ebook, and we'll be chatting. We'll be doing some coaching. We'll be doing. It'll just be it's like a Saturday hangout with your Lebanese coach.
Well, wait, don't forget who's going to be there. Oh no, who's going to be there is later. Later on, you and your mother are going to be there on another date.
Mom and Aunt will be there Sunday for an interview on my Facebook and YouTube channel, Rachel Detroit Coaching. And maybe I could ask my mom to show up Saturday and be my sous chef in the kitchen. I mean, gosh, if I could have a penny for how many times I had to be hers, I would be a millionaire. And that's talking pennies.
So it's 6 p.m. on Sunday, EST, to meet Rachel's mother and aunt. And then the 16th, which is a Saturday, for that cooking class. Okay. What time are you doing the cooking class on Saturday the 16th?
3:00 Eastern time. And
Okay.
if you miss it, still sign up. I'll send you the recording and you can
Okay.
listen to it at your leisure.
Do you see the value of this bundle, people? What we've just spoken of all by itself has a value. I'm going to equate it, and I keep using this equivalency, and that is, if you went out to dinner, well, to a lunch with a friend, and you treated her lunch, or you and your partner went out and had a lunch. In these days, these prices with tip, you'd probably spend $50 or something like that. One and done. You'd gone out to eat. They probably poisoned you with a bunch of crud and preservatives and who knows what, too much oil for sure. Instead, $49 can get you a lifestyle. I mean, a lifetime that can change your lifestyle in just this bundle alone. Because we'll learn things we wouldn't have known in so many categories. I'm going to repeat it. Super simple. Vegan. I won't keep saying the SS, but super simple. So vegan, and another one raw, another fast food copycats, another dessert, then breakfast, and then plant-based Lebanese. And we're missing something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we've got it all. And this delightful lady and all her beautiful tattoos. And that lion, everybody else will be looking at her in her outfit and you'll know what's on that leg. Okay, we're done.
Beautiful lion. And I want more. I just can't. I just want more. I'm just ready for more. I'm ready for the next one.
Okay. Well, goodbye, everybody. Let me get on I've been talking and let me bring up there you go. Okay. So thank you for being here, everyone. We thank Rachel for sharing her time with us and letting me torture her hours later. No, minutes past what we promised. I'm going to let you go and then let her go. Have a great day, everyone, because I know I'm going to. Bye-bye.